Peru is the homeland of the potato. They invented it. There are over 3,000 different kinds of potatoes and tubers. Peru is also the homeland or the source country of the majority of cacao types. But really, the thing that is the most wonderful is the palta, the avocado. Never call it aguacate. Always call it palta. Aguacate is a word, as you know, that is from a different form of Spanish. Well, it's from a pre-Spanish language. There are many different things in Peru in terms of ingredients, and the only thing I found that I could not find there was fresh, delicious cream. But I'm sure it's coming. We'll say a word about freeze-dried potatoes. I know it came out of necessity. I was not a fan of the dish. It kind of is sour. On the other hand, though, I was a huge fan of yuca fries. Yuca there, some of the yuca is just gorgeous and creamy white, and then when it's treated right, it's great. There are other tubers that they really enjoy, including olluquitos, which are really waxy tubers, and you'll see them in the markets, and they're beautiful and pink, bright neon pink and yellow, which is fantastic to look at, and they're very common as a food. And there's a fruit that is seasonal called pacay, which is sort of like cacao in that if you eat it as a fruit, you would eat the white cotton floss on the inside. And there's definitely a correct way to open it and definitely an incorrect way to open it. Which one do you think I was doing at first? And another iconic fruit of Peru is the aguamanto or uchuva. And of course, the favorite fruit that is a contentious fruit for foreigners is the lucuma. It has a custard taste to it. I would say you should eat it in ice cream form to get used to it. And we quickly passed over a jungle fruit called the awaje, which has a high level of estrogen. And a taxi driver once told me that gentlemen in the jungle who wish to have gender reassignment, they will eat a lot of the awaje because it will give them more of the feminine attributes without them having to pay for the drug itself. And when I got there, people were very excited about blueberries, which I'm glad they were, but it is a fruit that is being grown there now for the U.S. market. I believe Peru just became the largest exporter of blueberries in the world, or maybe just the U.S., I'm not sure. And then I would go to the market and try all kinds of different fruits, and some of them were quite hideous. The weirdest fruit that I tried in Sutukio Market was the noni. It looked like a little hideous potato. The fruit itself tasted a little bit like cheese, which I like cheese, but it was very strange to have it in this pasty sort of milkshake type smoothie. Then I don't think I would recommend it. But a fruit that is fantastic that's also seasonal is the níspero. It is sort of like peach, but has the silkiness, well, it has the silkiness of peach, but has its own flavor entirely. And some of the new restaurants were beginning to make fruit juices out of cacao, because of course cacao, the source of chocolate, is a fruit, and so you can actually drink it. And it's unfortunate that they called the fruit the mucilage at the Kyoye's very fancy restaurant. They called the drink the mucilage of cacao, and yes, it is the mucilage, but it's not such a great name for it. And the drink itself is ethereal and hard to describe. Very delicious, so I would recommend it. And another contentious thing, I think, for some people are the giant corn in Peru, because they're starchy. You just have to think of it as a starch. Don't think of it as corn, as sweet corn, because it's not. It's a starch, choclo. And then if you think of it as a starch, it's fantastic and delicious. They also have a lot of the regional foods. A very famous one is cecina, which is a jungle pork, basically. I don't think that's a euphemism. I think it's actually pork, or it's pig from the jungle. And since it is a coastal country, Peru, of course, has lots and lots of fish, and you should always take the advice of the restaurant and eat whatever is the freshest fish. Don't eat the imported, well, you can eat the imported salmon if you want to, but it's better to eat the locally sourced ocean trout or river trout. And one great thing is that the Peruvians no longer feed fish meal to their chickens, the egg-producing chickens, so now their eggs don't taste like fish, which is good, because I prefer my eggs to taste like egg. While I was there, I did some milk tasting, and there is more and more fresh milk, so that is a nice thing, but Peru's been through a lot, and so there was a time when you couldn't afford to have your milkmen come around anymore. Wait, I had more to say.